boost your high-yielding soybeans to new levels, it may be nitrogen you're running short on. How to apply nitrogen in soybeans late in the year is the subject of today's Iron Talk. First of all, why would you do it? Here are a few givens. Nodules in ideal soil and weather conditions can only produce about 70% of your soybeans' nitrogen needs. Organic matter can release about 20 pounds of nitrogen per percentage of organic matter. Fertilizer sources like MAP and DAP don't contain much nitrogen. Let's take this example. 70 bushel soybeans require the uptake of 305 pounds of nitrogen. Nodules can produce up to 210 pounds. If soil had 2% organic matter, that would give you another 40 pounds of nitrogen. If you applied 100 pounds of MAP to meet most of your phosphorus demand, you'd get about 10 more pounds of nitrogen, but you're still 45 pounds short. The ideal time to apply nitrogen in soybeans is so availability comes in the R3, or first pod stage, or later. Prior to R3, only about 10% of a soybean's nitrogen needs have been met. The challenge is the crop is big now. The answer is a high-clearance sprayer or a high-clearance spreader. On our farm last year, we used some controlled-release urea in strip trials through the spreader. We also looked at some liquid nitrogen with a nitrogen stabilizer in a high-clearance sprayer. Once the nitrogen is spread, you need some rain or irrigation water to get it into the soil and up through the roots to feed that high-protein soybean seed. There is some promising yield data out there, especially if you have high-yielding soybeans and low organic matter soils. You may want to consider a nitrogen application late in the season in those situations. We'll see this year if it pays once again. That's all for today's Iron Talk, and now back to the show.